Hey everyone, welcome to Femme Fables. Megan here, and I have Deidra with me again.
Hi.
So I'm speaking to the mic.
I just like to do aggressive actions. I know they're not.
Not everybody watches on YouTube, but this is going to be our last episode for 2021. So we thought, what better way to end it than talking about kind of forgiveness, healing, and resetting.
Yes.
Going into 2022. Hopefully it's a lot better than 2020 or 2021 was. So we just wanted to talk about those things, and then we're going to take a break and come back in the new year with probably a new look, a new brand.
I might cut all my hair off again.
She might shave her head. Who knows?
I did shave the back.
I was like, I noticed that. Yeah.
I have like 2 inches growing back in.
That.
It's really gross.
So forgiveness. Honestly, I'm still struggling with it. I can't say I fully have gotten the knack of. I understand the concept of.
I know everyone says it's not for you. It's not for them. It's for you.
Right, because you don't let them have that power over you.
It's still hard to do.
I can say I'm still struggling a little bit because I feel like I got toyed with and played with and then tossed aside.
But what if you said, it's okay? Big concept. Like, what if you just said,
it blew my mind. You left me speechless. I was like, you blew my mind.
You said to the universe, I got fucked over. I got toyed with. I've been hurt for the last year or longer. What if you said, it's okay?
I mean, it is okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to keep moving forward. Life's going to go on, right? And
forgiveness is so hard. I'm struggling with it. I'm at the point where I want to.
Oh, I definitely want to, because I understand the concept, because it is exhausting carrying around this angst that you have towards somebody because you feel like they hurt you so bad, which usually is derived from love of some point, right? Like, if you didn't care, you wouldn't be hurt, and you wouldn't have to be healing. But you actually just made me think of something I wish I would have mentioned in the last episode about what we learned this year, but we can kind of tie it into this. It's like, no matter how good of a person you are, bad things can still happen to you. And I have found myself kind of having that victim mindset of like, God, I'm such a good person. Why do all these shitty things keep happening to me? And then I got to kind of try to flip it and say, okay, if I had not gone through these things, I wouldn't be stronger. I wouldn't know all these things that I've learned along the way about myself and people and relationships and all these things, so it was a journey.
That is a victimized mindset, though.
Right, but I find myself getting trapped in that loop, and I'm like, gotta get out, because you can't sit there and play the victim.
I watch people walk around, and I view them as like allegory, as like metaphor, and like they're all like these open wounds, tearing each other's open wounds around, trying to live inside of them. And those are people that are like the poor woe is me, the victims, the narcissists do that because their story is their weapon.
That's true. Yeah.
Right?
They have to be right.
And like you had just said, that was exactly it. I was like, I don't want to feel like the fucking victim anymore.
Right.
I don't want to feel like you did this to me. I'm like, fuck you. So I was like thinking of this, and I was like, what if we
that goes back to them having power over you, and that's the point of forgiveness, is you're not allowing them to have that over you anymore, so you're not in that fuck you mindset.
Mm-hmm. I still struggle with things that happened many years ago that are not even relevant to my life right now. They're not even relevant to the dynamic of my world, which is what you're kind of dealing with, because you're like, this has become a bigger thing than me. And you're like, I'm still dealing with things in the back of my mind, those triggers, those traumas. And I was like, you know what? I'm so fucking tired of being a series of traumas or triggers or whatever. I'm always going to be, but we can take the power away by saying, you know what? I forgive you, Maeve. I forgive you, let's say, A, B, C, D, E, F, U, C, K.
Y, O, U.
I owe you. I owe you a fucking punch in the face. But
opposite of forgiveness. No.
Did we just go from forgiveness to fuck you?
That's some shit I would say. You're just like, I'd be like, want to punch you in the throat. But forgiveness, we're the bigger people now.
Megan, you can punch someone in the throat and still forgive them.
That's true. Valid. So, all right.
Where is this going?
How do you work through that, though?
Okay, so I had this concept about forgiveness. They say if you forgive, I come to these ideas. I'm not saying they're good ideas, but they're ideas that I have about it because I hate feeling that way too. I was like, man, I'm tired of dragging these bodies around with me. They're like luggage.
Yeah.
Not like just to use the term luggage, but it's like literally bodies, like you dragging like this with you.
Yeah.
So, if you forgive them and you just say, like, I'm gonna let this go, sail a ship, light a kite, blow out the fucking candle. I am only now.
Burn their name on.
I am not a series of things that have happened to me from yesterday to today. I'm not tomorrow. I'm not yesterday. I'm now. I am responsible. That's for me right now.
Yeah.
Who I am is not a series of triggers that happen from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whoever. Give them a name. Give them a fucking anything. We're not a series of those things anymore. We're just right now. We go away from tomorrow. Go away from the past, the future. It's gone. You're just a moment, and you can just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I lived there, to yourself. Forgive yourself for even doing that, because you're living in the past and we're living in the future, right? Because we say, if we fix the past, our future will be better. So you're not living in the now. We're not being present at all, really. So if we forgive people and just say, like, you know what? I release you from the responsibility of what happened. I will take the responsibility going forward. This is mine now.
Yeah.
And we're not a victim anymore. You're not a victim of a series of things that have happened that are out of your control.
Yeah.
You did the best you can do, but it becomes a job, right? To heal the past.
Yeah. I think it's because, right, they say forgiveness is not accepting what the person did to you, right? It's not excusing their behavior. It's so you don't carry around that feeling of angst and animosity towards somebody, because that's not healthy for you at all.
And maybe let go of whatever we do right now changes the future anyway. If we're going to talk in, like, sci-fi terms, like, whatever we're doing in each moment is changing our future.
Yeah. But to your point, you can't change the past. What's happened. And you can't dictate the future.
And you're not the person you were when you got hurt.
No,
So how do you relate to the person that you're walking around with her wounds?
That's interesting you say that, because I was thinking, I kind of visualized myself, like, this is going to sound very strange. I closed my eyes and I saw myself a year ago, and how I couldn't even make it in between a meeting without crying. And I fast forward to now, and I'm like, wow, I have, yes, it still bothers me and I still carry it, but I'm not in that place. And there are moments, and we talk about grief, there are moments of sadness. Something will trigger me that makes me think of it or think of the person. Taylor Swift and her goddamn album is just ruining my weekend.
Hard.
But
music is hard.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll give it to that girl. She can write a song lyric, but
do you know she didn't write all that shit? I thought she did, but there's a Swedish guy called Max something or another. Basically, the Swedes are responsible for all of American music.
Really?
She didn't write a lot of her music.
What?
Yeah. Shake it up, shake it off.
I mean, I'm sure some people. Well,
She did write
a documentary.
She did write some.
Yeah.
But you pay for these people, like, off topic. There's this guy Max. He's a Swedish guy. He wrote all Britney Spears songs.
What?
He's written not all of them, but I mean Shakira. Basically, all of our top 20 pop music is written by Swedes. So
It blew my damn mind again.
we can thank the Swedes.
Thank you, Swedes.
Thank you.
But yeah, there are things that, it also doesn't help that my ex has a huge crush on Taylor Swift, so every time I think of her, I think of him, and I'm like, ugh.
Maybe he really likes a Swedish man. Because he's the one writing him.
Well, who broke that Swedish man's heart, man?
I want to know.
I wish I were that.
They're really great at writing music. A lot of music has been written by Swedish people.
Well, the one that she just come out with this, the stuff she wrote when she was 19, 20 years old.
We could look it up. But yeah, she did. I don't want to take credit away. She did write a lot of her own music.
But what is the one that All Too Well? So there was a song lyric I actually posted on my Instagram story that it was like,
I want to hear the song.
You call me up again just to break me like a promise. You're casually cruel in the sake of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper.
Oh.
I mean, it is a like trigger. Like if I could put, so the story is that it's Jake Gyllenhaal she's talking about. She was 19 years old when she dated him, or 20. He was 30, and
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Fill me in.
This is the people are, suspecting. She's never confirmed or denied it or whatever. But they only dated for 3 months. And I dated my ex for 3 months. So I very much relate to this. Like, she talks like it was this whirlwind, like, thing. He kept her a secret. He told her she was too young. Okay, well, now he's flash forward 40, and his girlfriend now is 25. So one of her lyrics in the song, she extended it to like 10 minutes. And I was never good at jokes, but the punchline is, I'll always get older, but your lovers will stay my same age. And you're just like, boom, like.
Wow, that just really, she really does know how to write a fucking letter.
Yeah, you have to listen to it and watch the YouTube short video.
But that's the hard thing about bringing up. You're going to see that stuff, like you see that stuff and you go like, cool, you know?
Yes, all that to say that grieving, things will trigger you, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay, because grief is not linear. You're going to take some steps back. You're going to take a lot of steps forward. Forgiveness, still a rough one for me, because I do have that. I think it's because I have like a rising fire sign.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into astrology.
You're fighty.
The only earth placement I have is my sun in
Okay.
Virgo. I'm a Gemini moon, so that's air.
I don't know mine.
You have your birth chart though, didn't you do it? No, we gotta do that. We did it off camera. And I'm a Sagittarius rising, which fire, air, like, so Gemini moon, air, that rules my emotions, and my Venus is in Leo, which is also another fire sign. So I think that's why I'm kind of fiery and feisty and passionate, and, you know, and then I get to the moments of like, I would just love to hit you with a fucking car. But I forgive you.
But it's funny, like, it's kind of like humorous. Like, I use humor.
I do. I use humor to deflect my emotions. 100%.
Should have been a comedian.
It's in I thought about it. Like, I was watching, like.
What do you think Eric does?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was watching Eric stand up. Hey, Eric.
Hi, Eric. I mean, he's probably miserable. Most comedians, are miserable, and that's why
Eric.
Sorry, Eric. We do like
I think they're dark. Like, I think to be a comedian, you have to have some dark, deep-seated.
Or head trauma.
Or, yeah, something or whatever. But.
No, but they take all their pain and they turn it into something funny, which
I kind of did with the. Yeah. I mean, there are moments where I joke around, but, you know, off camera, I'm like bawling my eyes out or whatever. But I do deflect with humor.
Yeah, and I think that's a strong point for you, actually.
Yeah, and I like to. I think maybe I would be a good comedian. I like to push people's boundaries. Like,
you're just in the wrong boat, man.
In the wrong boat. I don't know where the hell it's going. You should try it. When we talked about in the last episode, when I first started this podcast, I really pushed the boundary of talking about sex, and it made a lot of people uncomfortable. And I'm like, good. My mom calls me up and is like, do you have to say that? I'm like, yes, I do, because I'm a woman. You know what I mean? And I go off on this tangent.
You're not the boss of me.
Right. And my mom's like, I support you. And it wasn't towards her. It was just like, you know what? If I make some, old white man uncomfortable, I'm sorry, because I'm not sorry. That you're uncomfortable with my sexuality.
I don't forgive you.
Yeah. Anyways, off topic again.
I love that we go off topic, though. It's great.
Maybe I do need to, go into comedy. No, that's a tough life. That's a tough.
It's fun.
It is fun, but it
seems like fun.
Struggling. Talk about struggling artist.
I don't know why, but I view that as like, yes. Like, I hope you struggle, because I think struggle.
And I'm like, that stresses me out.
Yeah, but maybe you need to be stressed out.
Well, I just need to make sure I have money coming in. That's
because you want to push boundaries.
I could do like stand up on the side.
Yeah, do it on the weekends.
I don't think I'm that funny, but
I think you're pretty funny.
I'm pretty dry humor, but forgiveness.
Forgiveness. No, really. Like, going back to that, like, I think it's important to learn forgiveness. And being a person who's like, I don't need to fucking forgive anybody. I don't grudge hold though. Like, I don't walk around mad at anybody ever.
No, I do.
My dad was like, don't be like your mother. She held grudges against everybody. And I don't walk around angry. I just am always aware of the situation. And I remember who not to trust.
Okay.
Right? So yeah. I'm like, I'm never going to, I'm not too.
You're like, I see you.
Yeah, I don't let them get too close, for sure.
Yeah, you keep them at a distance,
yeah.
Which, setting boundaries is
totally.
a big part of.
But I don't forgive. And I think that I'm always like aware that they're a shitty person, and that's a constant, that's almost like an open wound, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, maybe you just need to go like, I forgive and move past it. Let go of what was. Let go of what could have been or will be, and be more present. It's just a seed of an idea. But I was thinking, like, if we do forgive, then we can let go and become our most authentic self. Mm-hmm. That's a very trendy term to say, like, authentic, and I'm not meaning to sound
pretentious.
Authentic. I'm more authentic, but like yourself or who you are, like allowing that to come through, whatever that is. That's to be. Because I'm a fiery person as well, but I don't want to always feel so fiery all the
Right. And I say I walk around with anger. It's not that. I don't hold grudges. I can let things go and move past it if
you get what
somebody
you want
accepts their
scenario.
behavior, but not everybody does, or they don't give a crap. And then I'm kind of like, you suck. I don't like you. And I have a very hard time. Like, you're either in my circle or you're out.
Yeah.
I run in a tight group. And I was on a counseling session, and I was talking about somebody I had kind of been on the outs with, and they're like, well, they could just be your fun friend. And I'm like, I don't have fun friend. Like,
no.
I don't have the friend I just have fun with and go out. I need to have a connection with that person to be able to talk to them about things. And her and I were debating this, and I was like, I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't have levels like that.
Yeah, and I know people do, but I don't. You're in my
You're
group.
all in.
I trust you. I will tell you personal things about me. You know what I mean? But then
I didn't have levels either. It's totally fine.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No.
'Cause I was having a very hard time understanding what she was
can't.
trying to tell me.
I don't have fun friends either.
Yeah.
Like I have the same problem. Like
It's like surface level friendships to me. I want nothing to do
Those
with
are very
acquaintances or surface level friendships.
unfulfilling.
Yeah. But I think that's good with like putting up boundaries, knowing you're in this box, you're in this box, you're here, you're not anywhere
What's
now.
a surface friend? Let's hang out and talk about nothing together.
Right, like I guess,
You and I talk around and talk about our trauma a lot.
yeah.
Instantaneously.
But forgiveness, back to that, that's a toughie. It's been tough for me.
Moving into the new year, like, what do you think you see for yourself that you want to do? Like, what do you want to remove? Because you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to say, like, this doesn't belong here anymore, and that doesn't belong there. And
I'm such an analytical person. I think that's why I struggle with moving on from things, because I'm trying to, it's like a puzzle, which I love puzzles, and I'm trying to piece the puzzle together. And because I can't, I ruminate over and over and over. And that's what I find myself doing. I think about, why did that happen? Why did you do that? Why did you say that? Why did you reach out back out? Why did you get back with his ex?
hypervigilance as a form of, that's a coping mechanism.
But I also think too, it's like almost you've lived in that space for so long, that's what's comfortable, and letting it go
Keeps you safe.
would put right, even though it's bad stuff. I was
But you're-
thinking about that the other day, and like blew my own damn mind. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, like this becomes your identity.
Yes.
Almost. So where you're
you?
scared to let it go, because then who are you without that
That's what I'm
trauma or
saying.
this thing that's been holding you hostage in your mind?
I am the.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. No, absolutely. And that's such a deep conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you say, like, okay, I'm a series of trauma responses, right? Like, who I am, my protective nature, like, whatever it is that makes you who you are, how you handle your problems. And then you're like, well, if I stop doing that, then who am I? That's where you have to look.
Right.
Because
Or-
that's the authentic self.
Or people are comfortable in their pain.
Wound collectors.
Yeah. Like I'm wondering, am I turning into that person where like I'm carrying this pain because that's just what's comfortable for me, because I've been in it for a little over a year, but
You're not a wound collector, though.
but that's where I want to go into 2022, really just fully releasing and not giving a fuck.
That's so
Like,
nice. Quit your job. Move to the mountains.
marry an artist. I don't know what
Play
I'm
the
gonna do,
drums.
right?
Yeah.
Become a stand-up comedian. No, but I would. You know what I would love? I would love to be like on the radio. Like, I mean,
That's
this is
cool.
kind of the thing that I like about podcasting and talking. I feel like I could talk about a lot of stuff for a long time. So I always was like, oh, it'd be fun to have like a radio show. Like,
Yeah. You can also, I always wanted to do like audiobooks. How crazy is that?
so my friend is coming over. I'm going to record with her since I have the equipment. She's going to apply. She's British too, so she's
amazing.
British. So she has
You
British
can
accent.
apply for that?
Yeah,
I wanna
and they'll pay you.
I want to apply.
Mm-hmm. So if you and Jeremy can record you, like, because he has all the sound stuff. Because they want like a quality, obviously,
He
audio.
always says that he likes my voice, and I'm like, I like talking.
Yeah, and if you can do like different characters and stuff, yeah. I'll find out for you because she wants to do it, and you make money off of it.
I've been thinking about
If
that
they
so
like
much
you.
lately.
So, but yeah, I really want to just, again, damn it, Taylor Swift. She says like something to, I wish I could get back to who I was again, which is
Okay.
how I feel. I relate to that. I want to go back to the Megan I was, not the same Megan, but the mental state I was in, as far as like just being happy with my life,
Yeah.
which I am, but you know what I mean, not having the pain.
You will
Like,
when you let go.
How do you let go?
That's the point. That's where we're at. That's what 2022 is going to be.
How do you not let it define you? If anybody's gone through something and they've reached that point,
you get
please
sick of
comment
it.
and email me. Or
I really want to know too, because my theory is that you just get sick of it and you just do it.
I think
there's no answers. Nobody has answers. Like, I've been going to therapy for a long time, and I walked out of my very last therapy meeting like 3 weeks ago, and I said, I will never go back to fucking therapy again. Because these people can't fucking help me.
You've told me some things that they've said, and I think you're going the wrong person.
I've been going to the wrong person my whole life then, because I feel like I sit down, I tell them my whole thing, which is traumatizing.
Yeah.
They give me very soft served advice or nothing at all, and I'm like, you know what? I can help myself. I really think that I can heal me without this.
Are these
scenario.
psychotherapists?
No,
that's probably what you need to go to.
What's a psychotherapist?
Like, I think that's for more like intense trauma.
With like the
psychoanalysis. Yeah. Like I go to a counselor, so they're not doctors. You know what I mean? So she's very soft too, and very like. There's no psychology to our sessions. Like here's
psychoanalysts,
right?
Cool, but
like she didn't tell me I had an anxious attachment, so I learned that shit on my own. Like you know what I mean?
Saying. Like they should have known that.
So that's where I think I need to go to somebody who's actually.
I'm with you.
Has a PhD in psychology or whatever and understands like human mind interaction. But
I'm actively practicing forgiveness right now, and it's like one of those fun things that I get to do, like a puzzle. Like you like challenges, right? Yeah, it's like a challenge every day. Something happens and you're like, you feel a trigger and you go, this is where I actively practice forgiveness, and then you pull back.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. So I'm sitting there and I think about something and I feel the pain of kind of being ghosted again.
Yep. Then that's a moment for you.
What would be your advice to me then in that moment?
Okay, so in that exact moment when now you're aware something's happening.
Yeah.
And you
trigger, feel.
You tell yourself no. You give yourself a moment to breathe, like, because that's my biggest thing is reacting.
Yeah.
Right? So I have to just stop. I realize that what I'm feeling to do is not what I actually want for myself. And then I actively choose what the next choice is.
Okay.
You be more logical about it. You say, walk away, change the scenery, go in another room.
Yeah.
What if they've said, you've said that before, right?
Oh, yeah. Go, so my counselor used to tell me when I found myself, like, circular thoughts and ruminating or whatever.
Change the scenery.
So, yeah, go hang up a piece of clothing in the closet.
Go do something else.
Change your mindset for 10 seconds.
Yes.
And it'll get you out of that mental.
It's active practice.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling like angry at somebody, like they did this or this has happened, and in your mind you're going through the loop, because I've been in the loop.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in the loop. You go, no, focus on something else. So I'm going to actively practice that and see what happens, because I do believe that anything that we take charge of, we empower ourselves for, that we can do. I do believe that that's fact. And if we do that, we will change who we are, because we'll become lighter.
Okay, I'm gonna try that, because I definitely find myself just falling in the trap of then getting sad and upset and like crying and getting so emotional about it, versus I need to be practicing more mindfulness in that way.
Yeah, it really is about like,
no, I'm not letting this control me anymore. This is not me.
Find a ritual that works for you.
Yeah, I gotta figure out. I
Light
started
a
a new
candle.
puzzle.
I don't journal anymore because it's so traumatizing to me. So now I write one word over and over and over and over again until I feel better.
I tried journaling, which
I love.
I loved writing as a kid, and I can't find myself to do it for some reason. I don't know why, but I've had several people tell me I need to, just to get it out, like just regurgitate it somewhere.
I was going to share this
so
with
you're
you.
not holding it.
So I have a new journal. It's over here. I only have like 3 or 4 pages in. So instead of journaling like what I felt today or what I'm struggling with, what I'm doing is I'm writing a few words or a few statements of what I want for myself in that moment. I want to be calm.
Okay.
So I write, I am calm.
Mm-hmm.
I am balanced. I am feeling this. And I write the words that I want to feel.
Mm.
Cover the whole page like a big piece of art. Write it as many times as you need to until the paper tears. One I wrote like, I will forgive. I am not going to carry these. I just will write it over and over and over again. And then like your mind will change. It's just a repetition.
I think there's too, like what I was talking to somebody about, I was watching a video and they find, and I'm speaking more from a breakup perspective,
Totally.
yours are a little different, but like you have to give yourself a storyline to stick to so that you don't go into these crazy thoughts like, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why not me? Why her? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Because you tend to go into that loop. And it's just like, okay, no,
this is not part of my path anymore.
The storyline, once you find yourself going into those crazy thoughts, is this wasn't my person. It wasn't the right fit for me.
Right.
My person is still out there.
Yeah, you could just say
Best
this is not
of
part
luck
of my
to
journey.
you, and
Yep.
it's not
I
part
wish
of
you
my
well.
journey. Right. I wish you well.
Maybe that
When
would
you
help.
get hit by that car. See? Totally stand-up comedian. Come on.
I wish you well when you get hit by that car.
Yeah. Sure. Speedy recovery.
We needed that though. This was heavy.
They usually are heavy when we're on an episode.
Oh my
together.
God.
But it's important. But people, and I think my friendships are going to change going forward because I want people at my level that think like this.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people.
You've
Not
changed
that there's
a lot this
anything
year.
wrong with it, but it's just a higher level of understanding and being. And not that I'm like some evolved creature by any means, but
You
like,
outgrow your support systems, you outgrow your web, and that's okay. I think we're meant to do
Yeah.
that for some people. Some people are going to keep growing. I'm always in a state of growing, so I only have the people that are in my life understand that I'm not going to be the same 6 months from now,
Yeah.
or a year from now, or a year from now, and you're on the ride or you're not. It doesn't matter where I'm going, I'm not going to be the same.
yeah,
And people need to be with you that are like that.
yeah, agreed.
Growth-oriented people need to be with other growth-oriented people.
Right.
Because people that are not growth-oriented will see your growth as a threat, or they will resent you for the growth because
Yeah.
your growth represents their lack of growth.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, I think
But we're
that.
gonna forgive them too.
Yeah. We're all about forgiving everybody.
No, I
But
mean,
yeah.
I'm repeating it stupidly in some ways because I'm like, I want to be able to do that and just let go and be like, maybe like kind of like, my backpack is full right now.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that in my backpack anymore.
Yeah.
And if you say, but it's full of the good things I have, because you have really great things in your life as well. It's full of the good things. I don't need to put that in my backpack.
Yeah.
My cup is full. So I don't need to think about what wasn't, because you're just taking room in your space
Yeah.
for positives.
What's the saying that was like, if you knew what your future held, you wouldn't be so like hell-bent on clinging to the past. Like, so if I knew I was gonna be the love of my life next week and have
Why would
babies,
you still be doing this?
like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in this spot, right? Like, if you could see the future,
Yeah.
right, you wouldn't be clinging to the past.
Before I met Jeremy, I mean, I was
That's all about living in it now, I think, is where that was. Like, all you have is today. You don't know what tomorrow brings, and yesterday's
such a
already
truth.
gone.
Plus, we're like at a space in life where we're not like 20.
Right.
We might have 20 good, physically healthy, good years to experience the world.
Yeah.
How do you want to spend that time?
And I told my friend this the other day. So there's one thing I want to touch on is the exhausting piece. Like, once you get, I found myself when I was like constantly looking up their social media and stuff, like I stopped because I was exhausted. It was
Tired,
emotionally
yeah.
exhausting. Like, what are they together? Are they out? Are they at the Bucks game together? You know what I mean? Like, all these things. And I'm like, I'm just exhausted. Like, and it's not my life. They don't, like,
It's a TV show.
they're not, right, yes.
Just
it's something
turn
you're
the
like,
fuck off.
right. And, or what was the other thing?
Maybe some people have no control over their social media habits. Have you considered that maybe that's something that you're dealing with?
I think, and somebody told me this earlier today, it's like, that's all mental. Like, that control, like, I have them blocked on everything for my own mental state, because I just don't want that, like,
Yeah.
well, I saw a meme that it was like, I didn't block you because I'm childish. I blocked you because you're not going to control my peace. This is my phone. This is my
I have a
world.
lot of people blocked.
This
and
is
I
my
don't,
peace. Like,
even people that like didn't do anything wrong to me. They might
Yeah.
just be part of a group I don't want to be a part of or something. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't fucking care.
well, and they both have public profiles, so they could easily come in. Like, you could see them liking joint account. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't want you in my world, like, at all. Like, so there's that level to it versus, because there's that, you know, should you block somebody? Shouldn't you? It's your fucking shit. Like, if it,
Someone said to you
Yeah.
today that it's weak.
I was showing weakness because I had no control over my emotions, because checking someone's social media, shouldn't matter if they're blocked or not, is mental. Like, that is the control you have over your mental state. Like, why do you even care? But I think it's like, we've talked about a long time ago about addiction. Like, when you become,
I can look and not be affected at something, or you can look and be affected by something.
I would be affected. So
Yeah,
I know
I've
right
been
now I'm not, and there are people who I felt that way before that now I can look at and be like, I don't give a shit about you. I'm just not there yet with this particular person.
And that behavior though
Yeah.
doesn't bother you because you're not being affected.
Yeah, I'm not emotionally tied. It was actually a guy I dated a few years ago. He's dating somebody new now, and it's like I could care less, but I was like, took me 2 years to kind of move on from a thing, and now I could like give two shits less about him.
That's crazy.
You know, I'm not there yet with this particular situation, so I know that. I don't think it's weak. I think it's smart for me.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
I was talking to my friend about, you know, because she's going through something similar and looking up her ex, he's dating someone new, he's traveling with her, whatever. I was like, you're going to get to a point of exhaustion, but you got to get there on your own. I can tell you all day it's not doing you any good looking. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
We know social media is like 90% fake anyways.
It's not information you need, and it's not even real information.
Right. So they could be looking as happy as can be and just got into a fight an hour earlier. You know, you don't know what's actually happening in people's lives, so you're just going to have to get to the point of mental exhaustion. But
Tired of the habit. Let it go.
yeah, but it's like taking, you know, a hit. Like you're getting that view into this person that you loved and cared for, even though they're not with you. It's still that like, oh, I get to see you, or I get to.
It's like the only part of the relationship you have with that person is now the lack of a relationship you have with that person.
Right.
And sometimes like we get into it's a habit. So you can practice a habit that you have, like a habit of going to check, right? Or a habit to doing that, a habit to stop and mindfully change.
And I think it becomes, like you said, you don't have control. It's but it says it takes 30 days to develop a habit.
7 days.
Or something like that. I can't remember. But
they said you have to practice to be the person you want to be. Did you say that?
No.
Did I say that?
You just said it. But, but like you said, I think it's just one of those things where you become, it's habitual. Like, oh, I just know when I wake up, I go and check to see do they post anything or whatever. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. But you know what I mean? It does. You have to get to the mental of like, why do I care?
Yeah, why do I fucking care?
Why do I want to do this right now? You know, but yeah.
It really is practice. Like some of us, it's easy for some people. Like Jeremy, he's such a secure, healthy person. This shit does not affect him whatsoever. He just decides something,
like that too. Yeah.
And it's easy for them, and that's cool. Well, I'm a little bit more of like an undulating emotional person, so going past things that I deal with, like I have some family stuff that's been going on for such a long time, and like it really affects me. It will keep me up at night, like family problems. Yeah. But it's like you got to get to the point where you're like, this is not aiding in my well-being. Right. Worrying is not going to change anything. Yeah. And what do you want? Do you want to be a worrier? Is that part of your identity? Some say, well, that's who I am. I worry. Yeah. I don't want to be that fucking person. Right. That's not like some fucking flag where I'm like, cool, I worried about everybody. Yeah. I want to live my life more like balanced and happy, and I want to take very few things. I want to have a minimal emotional baggage. Yeah. So I don't want to take all that shit with me anymore. So going into the next era of our existence, the next year, it's just like New Year's resolutions. I don't give a fuck. People have negative things to say about it. It's a marking point for you to decide.
I was just gonna say we can wrap it up with like, do you do New Year's resolutions or?
I don't do them traditionally, but I do decide what I want to do for myself that year. I want to be more this. One year I decided that I wanted to be more affectionate with my family and friends. And I did that. And every day I would be like, in the moments where I would be distant, I would hug people, and I learned how to be more affectionate that way. The next year I decided it doesn't matter. There's like a million things you can decide for yourself. What do I want to get rid of, and what do I want to add?
Do you know what you want to do for next year?
This.
Okay. The forgiveness.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. This whole year I want to like learn how to forgive. Whatever that feels like. I don't even know what that feels like.
Yeah, I don't either. Let me know when you get there so I can recognize it within myself. No. All right.
Do you do them?
I usually do. 1 year I was like, I'm not going to curse at all anymore.
Those
I
are
lasted like 5 minutes. No, but in a more adult mindset, I think I'm with you. I think still practicing moving to a secure attachment style. Yeah. Like practicing that, knowing that I'm anxious, so that I recognize triggers when I do, enter into my next relationship. And then I got off dating apps. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to try to meet people organically.
Go to art shows?
Yeah.
Go to music shows?
Try to get out and meet people organically again now that the world is somewhat back to normal and hopefully continues in 2022. And then also the forgiveness piece and just not worrying. Like, I'm a worrier.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's part of my anxious style though, like that. But I don't want to be. Like,
yeah,
that
it doesn't fit your backpack anymore.
Yeah, Exactly. And be more mindful of the things that I am grateful for that are in my backpack, and, you know.
Then you'll do it. I believe in you.
Yeah. So it's practice, but well, that is going to end the last episode of 2021 for Femme Fables. So, like I said, we're going to come back in 2022. We may rename the whole show and kind of drive a different direction, but we will see. And if you have a New Year's resolution or something you guys are working on for 2022, let us know in the comments or email us if you're listening on the podcast platform at femmefables@gmail.com. Hope everyone has happy holidays, a safe and happy new year.
Yes.
And we will see you in 2022.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.